Hello and welcome to game number 1 of a best out of 3 for the finals of the 4PL Cup. And we're gonna have No Tidehunter taking on DD. And like I said, game number 1, best out of 3. For the people unfamiliar with 4PL, it is a 2-weekly cup. Every 2 weeks there is a cup. Everybody can sign up. And I do mean everybody. Your younger brother, Navi, everything can happen. And there is prize, of course, at the end of the cup. It is 400 euros. Winner takes it all, and mind you, it's euros, not dollars. But winner takes it all. Nothing for the number 2, everything for the number 1. And yesterday was the cup. And I have to say, normally the finals don't happen on that same day, which is why we have the finals today. Because the finals is best out of 3, the rest is all best out of 1. A single elimination, you get one chance, that's it. And that is how No Tidehunter got here, and that is also how DD got here. They both made it through their own brackets, and that is why we can watch, hopefully, a very good match. So we'll see. We don't see an Undying, nor a Bounty Hunter, nor Magnus, or a Bed Rider. Well, we see them, but they're on the banning side of this game. We have a Jakiro as the first pickup for No Tidehunter, which is quite unusual, or at least I say unusual, but I guess that's not true. I mean, Jakiro is a hero that's picked up often. Logical. But as a first pick, No Tidehunter might have a specific plan built around that, as we have a Chen picked up by DD together with a Darkseer, and another support picked up by No Tidehunter, as the Keeper of the Light just got picked up, so no Shadow Demon. We've seen a lot of Shadow Demon and Jakiro lineups lately, but this is going to be a Keeper of Light Jakiro, so that will mean that we're probably going to see, if this is going to be a tri lane, a hero that has his own disable. And yes, you might be thinking about Sven, because he is of course still in the pool, but there's also heroes such as the Keeper, what's it called, Chaos Knight, and of course if you want to be really annoying, it might not have his own disable, but Phantom Lancer, Keeper of Light is of course that combination that we know and hate and love. But they are taking their time, they're going into their bonus time for this draft, for this this last pick before we go into the next banning phase, or at least for No Tidehunter, because of course DD still has to pick up their own third pick. Are we gonna see them give away which carry they already want to pick up? Or do they want to secure something like a Templar Assassin, which is still in the pool? The hero that we normally see picked up early? No Templar Assassin, it's a Nature's Prophet. And I like this, in a way. I like this because it's not something that we normally see. It is still possible for Nature's Prophet to go inside the jungle and leave the Keeper of the Light in the off lane. It is even possible to have the Jakiro solo mid. And I will switch on and off the in-game microphone, because apparently was off there. I know, it's a bit awkward. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And there is still a Templar Assassin. So that's the one that we were expecting. That will mean that DD is probably gonna ban on something like a Queen of Pain. Might not be the real counter to Templar Assassin, but will be able to hold her own and does pretty well against her. With No Tidehunter, I mean, they realize that everything that DD still needs is basically a dual lane. So we're gonna see heroes banned out that will accompany that, that will support that, like, for example, Shadow Demon. I mean, no support is needed on Tidehunter anymore. So there is just that. Oh, you can ban out all those supports that are normally picked up, like Shadow Demon, as well as maybe the Bane, Leshrac, Lina, those kind of things. And there's a Rubik, well, also one of those supports, and there's a Nyx Assassin. That's interesting actually, because Nyx Assassin, I mean, yes, he is often picked up in combination with the Keeper of the Light, but as I just said, No Tidehunter no longer a need for a support, or at least in theory. I mean, we have seen Jakiro solo mid against Templar Assassin. Luna now getting banned out, also another one on a dual lane. With a Chen, for example, that is very annoying to deal with. Chen getting that extra pushing power also for his creeps with the Lunar Blessing of Luna. Not gonna be happening. As we have a Sven banned out, no real surprise, because we know that Sven would be good for No Tidehunter with the Jakiro and the Keeper of Light, and they pick him up often as well. Of course, we've got plenty of heroes still, and that might be doing the same job, like Chaos Knight. As we're waiting for the last ban out for no Tidehunter. And I did turn on the in-game audio, but there is unfortunately 2 minutes delay. So hopefully we'll be able to, well, it should have worked.
5
actually.
seconds remaining.
In-game audio. Yeah, should be working. Wisp gets banned out there. Also, of course, a strong one for dual lane, and the Gyrocopter is the last one. One that I'm pretty sad about. I mean, we've seen lineups that would favor Gyrocopters a lot, but Gyrocopter has been mostly on the banning side in those situations, which is, I mean, is logical, because obviously people would rather ban out a hero than know that it's gonna be picked up and be annoying. But personally, I like him. But yeah, can't expect the teams to keep that in mind. So you have no Tidehunter. They have got the first pick.
Reserve time.
We'll see what hero they're gonna pick up. Is it gonna be a Chaos Knight, for example, like with the Jakiro Keeper of Light? Is it gonna be a different hero that will work well together on a trial lane, or will we actually see a Keeper of Light solo lane? It is all possible. Tinker, okay. So Tinker mid is actually pretty decent against Templar Assassin. With the Martian Machines, no refraction. And the laser, more importantly, that mischance will make sure the Templar Assassin cannot last hit properly. And that's the way you shut her down mid, with that Tinker. And that is looking like a very global strategy. Now, you have got a Tinker with Boots of Travel at some point. You've got the Nature's Prophet TP, and you've got the recall from Keeper of the Light. So if there is a Keeper of the Light, like a Denzo in distress all of a sudden, there could be 3 extra heroes there in no time, with the Nature's Prophet TPing in, Tinker TPing in, and Keeper of Light calling someone else in on his own. Which could either be the Jakiro or the one that's going to be picked up last. Now that is pretty scary. As we're seeing the second last pickup for DD. Like we know that they need to go for dual lane. We still have the Chaos Knight in if they want to secure a carry first, which they might want to do, because if they don't, then they run the risk of no Tidehunter picking up their carry. However, they have got the last pick, so there is a small chance that they just want to make sure that no Tidehunter doesn't know which hero they're going to be up against until that very last moment. And that is, of course, something worth doing. For example, Ricky. I mean, we haven't seen a Ricky in ages. We haven't seen a Crystal Maiden in ages. This is an interesting choice of a support. And there's a Lifestealer as the last one, so... Okay. So imagine Keeper of the Light being in trouble, right? Lifestealer jumps in the Nature's Prophet, Tinker Boots of Travel, Nature's Prophet TPs, and Jakiro gets a recall. All of a sudden 5 people on the same lane as the Keeper of Light. I like it. I like this strategy a lot. A global strat and a bit of a annoying one to deal with. And there's the sniper. Now they're up against the lineup with the Nature's Prophet and a Tinker and a Keeper of Light, in that, for that matter. 3 heroes that are such hard pushing heroes. Sniper needs quite a bit of time to get his items up. Crystal Maiden, I don't think 2 illuminates and she's dead. And the team fight is not really there for DD either. I'm quite curious to see how they're gonna be doing here, because personally I have not seen the sniper in ages, and I doubt you have.
Let's go.
And on top of that,
10 seconds remaining.
the lineup from No Tidehunter looks pretty damn strong.
5 seconds remaining.
Headshot is still very annoying though. Like if you're gonna, in that case, I mean, in that sense, nobody can TP out when there is the sniper around, because you'll get interrupted constantly by the headshots. And that is, I guess, nice to see on the side of DD. But he needs to be everywhere, because there's a lot of TPing heroes. But let's see who's playing what. Because we have DD. I know that some of you might not be familiar, but a lot should be familiar because there's a lot of people that we know that are in this team. As for example, this is part of the lineup of the previous SK Gaming and Quantic, etc. But just to go over the heroes, we have Ryze playing the Crystal Maiden, Link will be playing the Sniper, Calculus on his Chen, Shoxka of course on the Templar Assassin is going to be going mid here, and Crit on the Darkseer. Well, I have to say, the Darkseer, or Crit, sorry, is a player that we've seen going mid most of the times, with Shoxka actually going on the off lane. So I'm quite curious if they might be switching around, or maybe go for, nah, I think it's Shoxka gonna be mid. I think Calculus is kind of annoyed, but yeah, Lola should be back shortly. But in the meantime, let's go over the rest. We have got Aki playing the Keeper of Light, S4 on his Tinker, Eternal Envy playing the Jakiro, Admiral Bulldog on the Nature's Prophet, and that will leave Loda, of course, to be playing that Lifestealer. And in case you're wondering, Nature's Prophet is indeed one of those heroes that is one of his heroes that he actually plays. So no alarm, no alarm. It might not be a bounty hunter or a lone druid, but he knows perfectly well how to handle a Nature's Prophet. And personally, I think the lineup for No Tide Hunter is pretty strong, and it will be very difficult for DD to prolong the game for a Sniper to actually make a difference. Though I have to say, it's the best out of 3. And this is only game number 1, so everything can still happen, even if they might not take game 1. They might take game 2. Might try out some new stuff. And there goes the ready. Even though Loda hasn't picked up his hero yet. But it doesn't matter. Let's see who's going where. As well, for now everybody's going bottom. We have some wards up on Calculus. Actually, no wards up by the Crystal Maiden. She picked up two branches indeed. I'm still quite surprised about this lineup. I mean, for well, these two most of all, the Sniper and the Crystal Maiden. And Crystal Maiden as support has lately not been that much in favor because she is just very squishy. She has of course had the buff on her ultimate, but there's just a lot of different heroes that can help work out better. Like for example the Jakiro, the Shadow Demon, the Rubik, all those type of heroes. But the Crystal Maiden, we're gonna see her back in action in this game, and I'm curious to see how it goes, as we have already No Tide Hunter rotating towards our lanes. It's gonna be Admiral Bulldog on the off lane bottom. We're gonna see S4 mid lane, and indeed a tri lane, a safe tri lane for No Tide Hunter on the top lane, and they will probably be up against this guy, Crit on his Darkseer, who's already going back towards the top lane. As well, he'll be having a tough time if he tries to get some experience, but the Iron Shell will actually be okay to deal with the Lifestealer. Of course, Lifestealer can heal himself up with just eating meat of creeps. But yeah, I think both should be okay in theory. This should not be the first blood unless Chris is very careless, and he might actually decide to go into his own jungle to farm there, because with the Illuminate, with the Ice Path, Dual Breath, he might not be wanting to stay on the top lane very long. There's a lot of slows, and yes, Surge is nice and everything, but it might just not be enough. As we have Shoxka in mid lane taking on the Tinker. Now I do think both of these should not die. In terms of last hits, it might actually be S4 coming ahead of this, depending on, yeah, he did pick up his laser, so wants to make Shoxka miss his last hits. And that is going to be very annoying to deal with for him. As we have Nature's Prophet, whoa, hello. They do see each other, it is daytime. We've got wards up here for the Radiant side only, not even an attempt to block for Admiral Bullock. He's of course going to try to push, to pull the lane rather, with his one Treant, who's going to be getting a Frostbite and will be probably dropping. So that's going to be that actually extra gold go in the way of Ryze, extra experience as well, so that's nice. And that will mean that the lane will be maybe slightly pushed in a way, because it still was a slight distraction of the creep wave. But that's also, that's why we see this happening. That's why we see Link risking his life and Frostbite just to make sure that Bulldog goes away. But Link wanted to make sure that the creep wave did not go below the tower, and that is why he tanked it up there for a while. As otherwise the lane would have been pushed, and that's not ideal to have at this time. As we have it's actually Keeper of the Light who is getting most last hits, but that's because he's just blasting away on those small camps, so we can't really take his last hits into account for last hits in general on the map with Crit. He has been getting some experience, and that's nice, but Keeper of Light will now come and help out to make sure that that's not going to be happening anymore. So we have got already level 2 up on the Keeper of Light. Also Loda just lasted, and he's free farming. I mean, he should be doing just fine. We should of course compare him on last hit to the Sniper. Sniper who is got 6 last hits, 9 for Loda on the top lane. In the meantime, I mean, this is a pretty dangerous lane for Bulldog, and he's actually gonna get ganked here also. There comes Shrapnel. Bulldog should be first blood. There goes the stun, and that's a very clear and simple first blood. And also, I mean, that's just a result of not having any wards. And of course, they should have known that there is actually a Chen in the jungle. So I do think Admiral Bulldog just slightly overextension here, having no Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden. I mean, no Treants standing around here. I mean, Treants could be human wards and stuff. Well, 3 wards, I guess, to try and make sure that he is safe. And like I said, with that headshot, he doesn't have headshot. Well, with the frostbite then. But when he has headshot, TPing away, it's going to be difficult for Bulldog, especially if there's also going to be a Centaur. Nice stack. Just making sure I can get more creeps there. So we have got Shoxka on 11 for 3 in the mid lane, S4, 10 for 7. So still fairly even actually, with a double damage now upon a Templar Assassin. It's pretty dangerous for S4. Look at that spill damage going through. That is pretty painful. But not doing as much with the lasers as I thought he would be doing, or at least not hurting Shoxka as much as I thought he would be doing. As we now have Chen gonna place a ward. No more stacking for you, as the Treant was stacking, but that's not gonna be happening anytime soon anymore. Well, at least he might try, but not gonna be going on anymore. And then 1 Treant, 2 Treants actually. It's gonna be warding. This is what they should be doing. Seeing where people are, seeing when he's gonna be ganked, knowing when he's safe, when he's not safe. Crit in the meantime, level 1 still. I mean, like I said, he's not gonna have an easy time getting close towards Loda. And Loda now gets another salve because he is very low on life, even with that Iron Shell damage going through. Even with his possibility to eat himself back to full, it's just too much. As we have a smoke up here for DD. Let's see if they can do something. And invisibility rune up on Shoxka will definitely help out, and it's actually a bottle that got dropped there by Ryze for. And it looks like they thought that they were spotted, but as in S4 went away from the lane, but they will go for Admirable, like I said. Hello. There goes the shots. There goes the TP. No headshot, but not needed. Test of faith. Doing the job. 2 kills now for Calculus. Pretty clear kill once again. It's a shame that Sniper is not getting those last hits though. I mean, Sniper is of course... Oh, wait a second. S4. Are you okay? Looks to be okay. Refraction on. Spill damage of course is going to be aimed by Shoxka if he can. Not gonna happen. But yeah, Sniper, I mean, he's a hero that needs a lot of farm, which is why you normally don't see him, because he in theory is easy to shut down, and in theory is just a squishy carry later on also. But if he would have gotten those skills, that would have made such a difference. He's already got 1600 gold though. He's 23 last hits, he's on par with the Lifestealer. Though if you later on have a one-on-one fight with Sniper and Lifestealer, I do think it's gonna be Lifestealer that still will win the fight. We'll find out if he has to though. Trap goes up, S4 trouble, S2 has bottle charges, gonna land a laser, rockets, this might actually end bad for Shoxka. He doesn't have a refraction, but will be fine again. And no more mana up on a Tinker to do any more than that. Well, that's the laser doing his work. In the meantime, Illuminate's gonna come in from the side. Bam. But the refraction will make sure that it doesn't matter anymore. 700 gold up by the Keeper of Light. He doesn't have boots yet, but we'll be able to pick it up if he goes home. Loda Hand of Midas complete, so we'll be able to farm a bit faster. As we see Sniper not buying anything yet. Well, he has got something, but the courier is actually standing still. This is a waste. The Hand of Midas is in the courier, and this is wasting time for Link. There it goes. He stood still for a second to send it again. Microing. But It will be linked. It has a Hand of Midas as well. Of course, we have to keep in mind that now the Hand of Midas is earlier up on Lifestealer than it is on Link, as he even got at least one extra charge up off before Link gets it. So that's a slight difference there, and should be going the way of No Tidehunter, of course, on the dire side. As we have the gold graph going the way of DD, and that's the main difference of having a solid jungle hero in the Chen. And of course as well as the 2 kills that happened on this guy. He's died twice, he's got 5 last hits, and if you look at his nemesis, I mean, he might not have any last hits, but he did not die. He's level 2 at the times, he has a surge. Not even going to try to come in range more though, and now finally going into the jungle. Something that I suggested for him to do earlier already. We have marching machines. Centaur is just going to stand there, walk through it maybe. They do realize this though. The exclamation mark from the Keeper of Light came out. Trap is still going to hit. S4, trouble. There's a Centaur going to come in from the stun. Will not hit. Nice dodge by S4. Damage going through to the high ground with him. And that is not going to be a kill anymore. Rockets will fly, not hit. Would have probably killed Ryze if he was still there around there. That's why he pops the salvo also. But that is a second gank on S4 that doesn't work out. Okay, the first one that we saw was not really a gank. But, well, it started off as a gank and then they still got a kill up on the bottom lane, of course. And they're gonna try again. Ryze gonna walk through the March of the Machines, placing a ward, and actually walks through it again. Has to be very careful. Did get scouted out though, but we'll be fine. In the meantime, tower top goes down. Nothing really that Crit can do here, to be fair. Rockets flying. Ryze, he has to be so careful. He is such a squishy hero. Like the moment that No Tidehunter decides to go fight, that is gonna be it's gonna be a very dangerous time for him. In the meantime, No Tidehunter will first just continue pushing, and until nobody else is coming to stop him, stop them, that is, they will just continue doing so. And with the Illuminate, I mean, creep waves are no issue. You have a dual breath. You have liquid fire for some extra pushing power on the tower. It is definitely nice. Crystal Maid in the meantime, level 4, going back to base, too low on HP and mana to still continue being Crystal Maid. No, is he gonna go for this? Ah, he just clears out the creep wave. And there goes the Hand of Midas, making sure that the Iron Shell is also not gonna be an issue. Illuminate going through, and still, nobody helping. Still is only crit here. And that's gonna be Targo, now not Iron Shell. That actually pushes the creep wave away, but they might still get it anyway. As now Loda will tank up the creep, the tower slowly. Here comes Nature's Prophet. He will tank it, and more Bulldog. Leaving his lane, he couldn't do anything anyway, and he actually gets the tower money for that one. 4 heroes, top. And they just took down 2 towers like it was nothing. Gold graph therefore quickly dropping down again. S4 in the meantime has got a soul ring, of course building towards his boots of travel. In the meantime, he'll just continue being mid until he has that, and if he gets shut down too much, then he'll farm ancients instead, even though the ward is still there. Or is there again, I should say, because this is a new one. But they, yeah, DD needs to do this. They need to shut down that Tinker. And that's the way they can. In the meantime, Sniper. He's doing okay on last hit. He's actually slightly ahead of Lifestealer right now, but those towers, of course, make that difference non-existent anymore. And S4 now finally gonna be getting some of the ancients here. As Nature's Prophet TP's in to help out. And they now place it towards seeing the sentry ward that is there. Or should anyway. And they will clear it out. Well, first the ancient, then the ward. Probably. Haste room by the Templar. Sessa might be going for a kill with that. She wants to. Maybe help out in the bottom lane. Illuminate will do a lot of damage to Chuck's Skull also. No refraction up. There's the refraction. But Aki just getting some experience, as now the exclamation mark comes off from Calculus. They are doing the creeps. And they realize that because Tinker is missing. And he doesn't have his boots of travel yet. And he will be getting these ancients now as well. With now having 1200 gold. 1400 gold, sorry, with that dragon. So just 600 needed before he can get his boots of travel. In the meantime, and let's just switch to networks because that's a bit more important now. We do see, of course, Lifestealer ahead of that. Both because of towers and because he got the Hand of Midas a bit earlier. But we haven't seen Tinker being shut down at all. I mean, he is just happily farming. I think No Tidehunter was thinking, you know what? They picked up a sniper We can deal with the sniper. Let's just leave him and, you know, take care of him later on. So we have to face only 4 heroes of our opponents while doing our thing. I'm quite curious if that's not underestimating the sniper, because yes, it is a squishy carry. And it is not a hero that we normally see because of those of that reason, and of course he just needs a lot before he can get good. He needs a good start, but he is getting a good start. He had a good start. He also has a Drums of Endurance. Oh, they want to go for him. Finally, they try to shut him down. Here they come. Let's see who's going to be first. They're going to be Sprout. Ice Path. He walks right into that one. That was an awkward Ice Path, but the kill was there anyway. And that was also a nice bomb. Sniper, no escape mechanism, goes down. And all of a sudden, fight. There's 2 heroes down. DD coming in. Haste rune of Shoxka working out. And that's going to be another kill. Triple kill for Shoxka. And this might be even more. Laura toggles his armlet, but it's gonna be too much, and that is an ultra kill for Shoxka. How did that happen? So fast. They went for 1 gank. They went with the massive knife bomb. They had 4 heroes there. Admiral Bulldog had his the lifestealer in him, and now Shoxka gonna go for him. Nice Sprout trying to save his life. Martian Machines will at least stop Shoxka from chasing that, but that was nice anticipation of DD. I have to say, yes, they sacrificed the sniper, but they got so much more back. Templar Assassin, 4 kills now. That was the first time that Shoxka actually decided, let's just leave my lane and try to get some kills. Well, he did, and he got 4. He also got his face boots, of course, Medallion of Courage, and that was the first time that a lot of heroes from the Hunter died. First time for everybody, apart from Tinker, because he wasn't there, so he didn't die. The only one that didn't die. That is, but great play coming up from DD. I mean, the gank was there. I mean, the Ice Path was a bit awkward, but you know, Sniper walked in there anyway, and they killed him, and then they figured nice. But then from behind, I mean, ganking someone near tier 1 tower is always dangerous because, of course, you can have those TPs incoming. Boots of Travel, by the way. And DD, they just made it work. And I realized I should have gotten up earlier because, well, focus isn't what it should. But that's okay. That's okay. Well, yeah, but with the Boots of Travel up on S4, I mean, there's no towers down just yet, and no Tidehunter, and I didn't get any tower in return for that ultra kill either on the bottom lane. But it's gonna be even more difficult now to take down towers, and they really need to bank on that late game. And as far as turtle potential go, Darkseer's a nice hero there. As in, that's nice. Jikiro actually denying towers. Why did they just prove my point? As in, disprove my point, because the tower still dropped, of course, the S4 just sticking mid, but I do think it's gonna come down to DD being, in theory, slightly behind mid game, because right now no Tidehunter is where they want to be with Boots of Travel there. And that means that we should see DD do some turtling, but they have got the Darkseer, that's nice, but it's very difficult to turtle against the lineup that no Tidehunter has. So I'm still curious. I mean, that was brilliant play from Shoxka, but he's again stuck in the middle lane, and well, stuck. He is there. He has his Blink Dagger now as well, and we still see him farming. And I do think that maybe he should try to get some more kills, but hey, who am I to expect that one? As far as wards go, they are doing okay, as in coverage to see where they actually can gank. They have got this room spot covered. They've got the bottom lane covered again as well. Of course, for no Tidehunter, they have got the same. The roam spot and the mid lane, that is. And of course, they finally can stack Ancients without being, well, blocked by wards. And that's gonna 1600 gold. He is gonna be very dangerous very soon. He might not have a Hand of Midas, but he doesn't really need that. And we see how fast his net worth is spiking up. I mean, yeah, he wasn't doing bad mid lane regardless, but with those Ancients, it just goes so fast. And we see that mostly at a gold per minute also. It's now higher than the Tinker that actually has a Hand of Midas. Sniper. Also, dude, that makes the same kind of noises. I do think that maybe it was the same voice. Look at them. Look at their faces. Maybe they would be brothers. I mean, both tinkering. Look at the goggles. Both having goggles. That's why I made this sense. But yeah, 1700 gold. Curious to see what he's gonna go for. That's Crystal Maiden. We haven't really seen much of her this fight, which is actually good. She actually got assist on 4 kills already. and she hasn't died yet, which is something that is pretty admirable in a Crystal Maiden.
Swiftly to the
But
temple
for her comes the trouble point right now that at this time you don't want to be on the lanes, because that's where your carries are. That's where your that's where your semi carries also are, and just are farming. And you don't want to be taking the farm nor experience, because you know it should all go to your carries and semi carries. She is farming in the jungle, which sometimes also is not ideal, but with only a Chen here, Chen is of course in the jungle, but you know, she times it properly, and by the time Chen is here, there will be new creeps also. She's now gonna go for the small creep wave. If she's fast enough, that will be a new spawn as well, and he's trying to. He's trying to. But nah, it's too late. That's a shame.
middle tower is under attack.
But yeah, it is hard for Crystal Maiden at this time to still find farm without putting yourself at risk, of course, because if you're gonna be farming by yourself, that's not gonna be ideal. Another tower getting denied. This is the second tower that gets denied with no Tide Hunter.
Has been denied.
Well, towers are now even, though, of course, bar for the fact that it was denied. They get a bit of vision here to see if the Templar Assassin that has got that lineup for Roshan is not trying Roshan, and I mean lineup, but I mean actually the medallion. With the medallion, with the melt damage, you will be able to take down Roshan by yourself, even with teammates if you want to, but you don't really need them anymore. As right now, this is what I mean. Like, this is an obvious push. So this is where the March of the Machines is gonna hit. Traps going down. There is of course a TP, but they're gonna dive this. He might be able to take down Shokska though, and he does. Still goes down, but the hand of God comes too late. Nature's Prophet. Ultimate going through. Is he gonna TP? No. Tinker TP'd though, and now he TP's here. About back and TP blinks. Hello, Calculus. Fire, Calculus. Nice one, and that is why you don't fight in the March of the Machine. TA buying back now as well, because I do think they realized Roshan is being attempted here by no Tide Hunter. And they could do that. They save their tower, they take kills, and that's all as for 2 for 1. Buys back, 4-star buyback off the opponent's side, but definitely worth it, as Aki is gonna not get hit by Link. He's gonna go for not for Loda, because he just raged. Would have been a good target, but he actually changed his mind for that also. We have a regeneration rune. Someone should be coming for it. Who are they gonna bait? just okay. Then just deny it. In the meantime, Templar Assassin, like we saw, Blink Dagger. Curious to see if she's gonna go for Desolator next, or for BKB. Now, if she's gonna go for BKB, of course, the March of the Machines will still hurt. But considering Lifesteal already has that BKB, I mean, it might just be nice. Ice paths are very annoying, and especially for refractions, the liquid fire, the dual breath. You don't want to be, you want to be having a refraction, even though, you know, March of the Machines. But it is still nice to get a BKB at this stage. Though Shokska at this point is quite far ahead. I might just want to go for Desolator to just continue taking kills. Illuminate's gonna go through, but there is a refraction up, and it doesn't even hit. As we have got Tinker continuing to push out. I mean, this is S4's job. Just continuously March of the Machining, and then TPing out, TPing elsewhere, March of the Machines, TPing out, TPing elsewhere, using his blink, and farming up, because he is farming fast. I have to say, I'm quite surprised that actually Sniper, without getting any extra kills, is doing so well on the farm. He is keeping up with the Tinker as well, with the Lifestealer, 1800 gold, picked himself up an Ultimate Orb. Might be going for a Mantis style. We're going to see Lifestealer taking care of some of the creeps here. He is picked up Minter Hammer, so might be going for Desolator as well. As you know, he doesn't want to BKB. He has a built-in BKB, so he's fine in regards to that one. As we have Calculus, he has his mechanism complete. More heals for them, even though of course we saw the heal going through earlier. That was a bit too late. We have got a hood up on the Darks here, so going for a pipe there. Ryze roaming around, level 8 still, the same level as last time we checked in on her. On him, sorry. Just walking back and forth. I mean, she can also stack up the Ancients, but right now it is Calculus that will take them, and Ryze will just stick around for the experience for it, and that's very welcome. He's now level 9. That's the same reason as why Eternal Envy is around here, because he wanted to share on the experience that gave the Ancients that are still continuously being stacked, and that is something that of course no Tide Hunter does. That's what they're known for. I mean, just make sure that no creep is wasted. Make sure that Ancients are being stacked every single time, every single minute, just to make sure that Tinker will not waste any time. And look at that. We just saw the net worth already. This is with the gold of the ancients. Though I do think that it is Sniper that has something in the courier that also works with that. Yes, there's his Yasha. So that's gonna be Mantisal complete fairly soon. And Roshan, who was of course aborted earlier on, now going to be taken down again, or at least attempted to. There's an exclamation mark though. I do think that they realize something like that's going on. They only have a ward here, so they don't necessarily see that. But one of Chen's creeps, or maybe all three, will just be checking out if there's actually something there. And maybe even with a tornado. But it might be just too late. Illuminate going through. There's of course the Chen creeps, and that is also the Roshan dead. And it is Loda that picks up the Aegis. Loda, who actually finished up in mid through Hammer. Oh, I love this. People that watch my cast more often, wow, English, I know that I like having Maelstroms up on, oh, basically anything, okay, I won't lie. But the Life Stealers, of course, as well. Life Stealer with Lightning, so it's good. Maelstrom is going to be the case for him. And very good also, I mean, they have got the damage. He doesn't really need the Desolator just yet, as in, he might be picking up later for the minus armor, but it's not like they lack damage. And it's not like they're fighting against heroes that they have to attack very long before they're dead. And yes, that is me saying that BG has quite squishy heroes. I mean, Templar Assassin is a very squishy hero, it's just that she has a fraction. 2700 gold up on Panchokska. As we still have no extra towers down on the side of DD since of course the push on the top lane, which is quite surprising. But Tinker, Sniper is just, I mean, he is constantly bottom, and the last time No Time Hunter went for him, well, they felt that they shouldn't be doing that, because they gave him up to kill the Shoxka. But they are letting Sniper free farm. Constantly. The only kills he's been in, and deaths that is only on the bottom lane. He's level 14. Tinker is higher level, but that's because of the Ancients also, and just because he's Tinker. Because he now picked up an ultimate orb. Maybe going for a sheep stick. He's gonna make sure that there's not gonna be anybody taking down a tier 1 top. Last time we did the same thing. Rockets flying. It's crit only here though. He has a pipe complete, but yeah, they won't be taking down that tower for now. As a Ryze. Can he TP out? Nope. And that is what I've been saying. Like, if he is found, he's dead. Like, there's no chance for him. He tried to TP out, but it's just too much damage. And it is actually Loda that picked up the kill. And he already has a Mjolnir, so he's farming insanely well, as we know, of course. We saw his net worth. It is no surprise that he is farming well. Yeah, for the people wondering why Sniper is going for Mantisal rather than anything else, is of course, I mean, he knows he's a squishy hero. And if you're gonna pop your Mantisal, at least that's some form of escape mechanism of making sure that they're not going for him Bulldog. You're gonna be able to TP out. Need that vision. I mean, the headshots can interrupt teleports, but you know, you need to actually shoot him if you want to do that. But yeah, that's the reason. I mean, he doesn't have his own build and escape mechanism, which is also why you'll see a lot of snipers that actually have got Lothar's Edges or Shadow Blades. That is open wounds, Ryze, rages, and that is already one down. Melt damage going through. They want to take him down. He jumped inside Chen's creep, so he jumps up by Chen creep, and that is Loda should be able to get himself out of that one. I like that the Calculus has 2 Troll Warlords though. I mean, that ensnare is pretty dangerous. Also for Lifestealer, of course, goes through Rage, through BKB. A Sniper leaving the lane for the first time. Not successful either. Still having his Crystal Main going down, and this is what we are going to see. Crystal Main has to play it so careful. I mean, at least the Jakiro can land an Ice Path or something. If he is getting attacked. Though having said that, if Lifestealer actually goes for Jakiro, I know that they were on the same team, but in a hypothetical situation, I don't think that Jakiro will be able to get away from that one either. Then we have 4 heroes in the bottom lane. All 4 from No Time Hunter. We've got 4 heroes from DD as well. There's now 5 heroes, by the way. Open wounds. There is the Mantisal, that definitely helps. Surge Awake gets turned into a pickup by this cheap stick that's done on a Tinker, but it doesn't matter. Too fast. Such a fast sheep. And that's the Mantisal done. And in the meantime, Loda has the tech stop because it's getting very low. A nice Ice Path. Heal. Hand of God going through. Vacuum. Going through. There goes. The age is already gone. It is S4 that drops first. Loda back up. Who's he going to go for? Is he just going to try to get himself out of there? Looks like it. Admiral Bulldog trying to do what he can. BKB up on Shokska. Just right clicks though from Loda will take him down. There's the meld helping out. Sniper now getting surged away. We'll be fine again. There is a frostbite up on Lifestealer. Who's he gonna go for? Crit. And there's gonna be a headshot. Bam! You are dead. And that is Link picking him up. Now Aki gonna try to run away from this one. Still takes hit from the tower, but the test of faith is gonna pick him up. And now Envy by himself. Ice Pad ledgers on Link, but doesn't matter. Dark Seer's Iron Shell will take care of the dirty work, and that is gonna be everybody going down. Apart from Bulldog, because he stayed alive, he actually TP'd out and is forcing down the tier 1 tower, which might get denied here. But no, it is the Necronomicon Warriors that pick it up. But what a fight bottom, and I have to say, Sniper is working out great with the Dark Seer wall, with the Surge. They can't chase him. They don't have the potential, and even if they slow him down, at least once he can Manta Split. And he went back and attacked stuff, and it was working out fine. Dark Seer Wall, of course, was brilliant in that fight. Just in the middle of everything. Vacuum of all 4. It's just massive damage going through. And we're gonna see no time. I mean, they realized that right now they have forced out a fight twice. Twice on the bottom lane. Twice they kinda lost 4 heroes. They still don't have the tier 1 tower mid, bottom that is, because mid they just took down, of course. So I don't think they should be going for teamfight. They have such a good lineup for split pushing, so that's probably the game that they should be playing. We're gonna see if they're gonna be able to do that. Keeper of Light and Jakiro hanging around here by themselves, though. Just the 2 supports. A Seeker TPs into Shocks, that turns him into a piglet. Can he do more? Nah, just forced him away. Rockets will still fly, but Fraction is on there and he just TPs out. Making sure that the lane is pushed out. Now is gonna be Ryze and Calculus coming in. TP in here from the Tinker. Already shrapnel going through. Rockets will hit. 2600 gold already up on the Sniper. Sniper who's only died that one time that we saw him die on the bottom lane right about here. Well, he's chased around there, so. 4 heroes again in the bottom lane for DD. Shokska going top again. We got our BKB ready still. The BKB not in time to stop that from going through, but you know, X4 cannot do anything just yet, not by himself. But he won't be by himself for very much longer, because there he is coming in. Loda coming in, Nature's Prophet. Could be TPing in, but he gets away. He's just fine. Ryze still farming in the jungle. We'll take a quick look at the gold graph. It is in favor of no Tidehunter. But that's mostly because of their split pushing and because of the Tinker constantly farming. The team fights are going the way of DD, which is why we see this one being a bit more even. Still in favor of no Tidehunter, but the difference is minimal. But that is the game of DD. I mean, they just have to wait until Sniper just continues farming up, so Sniper is bigger. They have to make Shokska into kind of a semi-carry. And in the meantime, I mean, she will be, of course, of big impact in a fight like that, but she shouldn't be trying to go out and kill stuff, because that's just too much mobility up on no Tidehunter. If you go on someone before you know it, there will be more than just that one hero that you were trying to gank. And let's see if these can do something here. They smoked up, so this ward is not catching out anything. Here they come. S4 inside the web. There comes a headshot. Ice Path trying to help out. S4 already going down so fast. And he pops a Ghost Scepter. Test of Faith doing so much damage with that one. But it is actually Sniper that picks up the kills. Crystal Maiden, of course, still dies. Loda just eating her up. Vacuum doesn't work on the rage. Loda tries to chase down Calculus. Can he get him? Man of God going through. Doesn't have a rage for another 4 seconds. Won't be able to get the chance to pop it because he goes down. And it is Aki that tries to run away from this one as well. Nature's Prophet gonna be able to TP out. And the TP out also came from the Keeper of Light. Again, nice fight for DD. Great setup. And I mean, Ghost Scepter on the Tinker, yes, it stops you from taking damage from the Sniper, because that's just a counter to Sniper, of course, but that Test of Faith was no joke. Test of Faith, when you are in a Ghost Scepter, 40% extra magic damage. That's what you take. That's you dead. Near the tower, being under attack, and probably going down. No real surprise. Humanities! And it's actually Shokska that picks up the tower hit. I'm quite curious to see what he's going to go for next. If he's still going to go for Desolator for that more minus armor, of course, or if he'd rather go as for for a bit of a more semi-carry item, as we have Roshan back up again shortly, 1 minute to go. Might have a fight again for that one, even though, I mean, no Tidehunter, the last couple of team fights that they took, didn't really work out, but maybe they can try to bait DD in coming somewhere and then go for Roshan instead. I mean, they have got a lineup that has multiple people that can initiate already on Roshan, with the Lifestealer being there by himself, perhaps, with the Nature's Prophet being there by himself. They could do that. Necronomicon level 3 and from Bulldog, so more pushing, of course, going through. Also something that you can set up on the Sniper. I mean, Sniper is a hero that doesn't use that much mana. I mean, there's not that many mana thingies up on him. But still, the Assassinate is really annoying to deal with. So if you can set the mana burning Necronomicon warrior unit archer then on him, it will actually help out a lot in those kind of fights. He still is a switcher basher up on Loda. You have headshot. I want basher. Loda trying to get himself away. Look at that damage. And the surge there also. Now he opens up. Overwounds gets cancelled out. And he jumps himself inside the sleep. Jumps himself out. Has to get away from this mechanism helping out. Vacuum still there though. Ice Path up on crit. But Sniper still takes him down. Can they go for something more? Rockets will fly. But there's too many heroes here of DD to try and do something, and the rest just backs himself out. But that is Sniper, and he picked up an Eagle Song, so Butterfly it is. In the meantime, split push. The thing that no Tidehunter has, like no other, is going to be happening here. Shock's TPing in. Admiral Bulldog will take a dive. Might be seeing S4 take a dive as well. March of the Machine's no longer there. Pops his Ghost Scepter. Test of Faith. Pannon's going through. Headshot. Bam! You're dead. 2 heroes, 3 in total, of course, with Lifestealer as well, going down in a short period of time. Yes, they took down some damage on the tower, and this is gonna be it. DD, they can kill stuff. Apparently, they've proven time and time again. But what they're having issues with is taking stuff back in return for those kills, which is something like buildings. Tier 1 tower top even still standing. It's gonna be DD that's gonna try for the Roshan. Now they know that they've been spelled out. Are they gonna stick here? Looks like they are. No, actually they shouldn't be too worried with Tinker and the Nature's Prophet out on the side. Having said that, they can of course TP the moment they get it back up, but it's too late, and it's Sniper that took the ages. Illuminate's still doing a lot of damage, but Butterfly complete. I mean, DD looking really good with a lineup that personally, I mean, I've said it, I'm ashamed that they are actually, well, I'm happy for them that they're proving me wrong. And I like it. Who knows? Sniper back into the meta game? Yes, please. Well, to be fair, seeing Sniper playing a professional match is already him being back in the meta game. Maybe. Depends on your definition of metagame, I guess. It's very different for a lot of people. But we have a pause. Gives us the chance to take a look at some more of the graphs. We have the gold, of course. It was a favorite of no Tidehunter for a long time. But then no Tidehunter tried to fight a couple of times. And then it went back to no Tidehunter. We have got the experience graph showing a bit more clearly how it feels that this game is going. And it is going towards the 10k in favor of DD. Of course, Mechanism, Force Staff, they're also up on the 10. Of course, the one thing that you do against a Lifestealer, you build a Force Staff, because if you open wounds, well, yes, you can Manta Staff if you actually have a Manta Staff. But if you don't, then you can Force Staff yourself away and hopefully stay alive long enough for either your team to come or for the overwounds to get away. Okay, this is a dangerous Crystal Maiden. Double damage up on Ryze. Look at that, taking down Ancients with the double damage throw. I picked up an Urn as well, by the way. Crit in the meantime. Also picked up a Ghost Scepter. Nothing new yet on the Sniper. See if we can find some new items. It is Crystallis up on Shoxka, so that will be Shoxka going for Deadless and going for indeed that semi-carry build, and they need that too. I mean, yes, Sniper is nice, but if you look at the sign of no Tidehunter, they don't only have the Lifestealer, they also have the Tinker that's making a pretty big impact into this game, and if that's not enough, Nature's Prophet can be turning into a very good semi-carry if he gets the gold, if he gets the time in that case. Oh, hello Nice Bomb, hello Top. There's already Shoxka turning turn into a pig with open wounds, gonna happen. Shoxka, no chance. And the Nature's Prophet ultimate helping out as well. And that was Loda picked up the kill. Nice Bomb at its finest. And just the mobility proven Proof of right there. And every bullock, by the way, also has a Hand of Midas, so 2 Hand of Midas on the same team. Can work out.
Let's go, let's go.
But yeah, I said it at the start of the game, and that was just a typical proof of that. And of course, I mean, Shurska has been up against that S4 Tinker before, and he has just stuck around when Shox got TP'd in, so it wasn't something new. But then also having a Lifestealer TPing in together with a Nature's Prophet, that was just a bit too much. As we see a Sniper getting away, they realize that's the real one. Are they gonna dive this? Doesn't look like it. Shrapnel going down.
Radiant's top tower is under
As they
attack.
just decide to push. In the meantime, the towers are actually even, with both tier 1 towers still up on DD on their short lane, on the D and no Tidehunter on their short lane. And it's actually more TPs coming in, forces them away. Calculus hanging around just in case. As 4 continues to push top lane. I mean, this is just a constant nuance for DD. They have to constantly keep this in mind and send someone here, because this tower, once it drops, I mean, it will be naked barracks, and it's slowly but steadily the tower is being chipped away of its life points, and that is gonna be painful. We have 2200 gold up on the Lifestealer. We've got Aki, Ghost Scepter up on him also. 1500 gold on Jakiro. I'm expecting a Ghost Scepter up on him as well. I mean, Ghost Scepters all around, but that's what you do against a Sniper, and also against a Templar Assassin, of course. I mean, Templar Assassin